welcome to another Fascinator making tutorial by Suave. And in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching us how to create a trending quill feather fascinator. Now, I'm trying to recall the person who made the fascinator exactly, but I don't think I can remember her name because I want to acknowledge her. So for this design, you need two pieces of quill. You can decide to use any color of choice. You need this equipment in my hand. It's called a coiler. You need your ribbon, Alice band. You need four pieces of feathers, four pieces of your trimmed and shaped goose feathers, and then you need your sewing materials. So with all of this, without wasting much time, let's get started. And the first thing we want to do is to coil our quill. It's time to now work on our quill feather. So can you see the shape we have now? So the shape can be altered using the air coiler when it's connected to electricity. So what do I want to do? I want to pick this, put it in. Can you see? I've opened up, I put it in. Now every part of this is usually hot. So every part, like every part of it, everywhere, yeah, from the top round. So I'm just going to put it in, use my hand to control at the tip, and then I'll roll around it. One, two, three. Can you see? Just three. So can you see what I have? Can you see that it has already curved? Now, if I want to get more, I'm just going to hold it down again, wrap round for a longer time, and wrap probably round it more than three times. So can you see? So can you see? So this is what you're simply going to do to be able to coil your quill feather. Now, can you see what I have? Now, you can decide towards straighten your the definition of your coils if you don't want it to be too coily. And that was what she did in that particular design that everyone else is. So how do you now do this? Now, the way it is, I've already gotten the first design I want to do. So the next thing I'm going to do is to coil the second quill feather, and then I'm going to show us how to attach every part together. After coiling the two quills, the next thing you want to do is to grab your feathers and put your glue just at the tip like so. And after doing that, you wait for it to get solidified. Once it's solidified, you would now attach it on your quill, at least leaving nothing less than 6 inches from here to the point of attaching. So now this is where you measure from to be able to get the accurate point at which you're going to put your feather. You get your tape rule, you measure 6 inches. So from here, from the tip to the upper part, and recall the point at which you place this is very important. Remember that the design went like this on top. So when you're attaching it this way on your Alice band, it's going to stand this way on it. Can you see? Ensuring that this particular curve that came in is standing over the Alice band. So the point at which you fix your flower matters so much because you don't want to go and fix your feather rather on the opposite end or on the side where it's not going to bring out the beauty of the design. So now I'm going to do what, just measure my 6 inches again, and after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is what, just attach my feather directly on it. Now why did I say this? Is because the design also had a feather on it. So when I attach it, I'm going to hold it firmly and allow it to grip on it, letting it dry. Once it dries, the next thing you want to do is to you can use your ribbon to cover it. And if you don't want to use your ribbon, you can go in with your thread. You can use your thread to just tie it at that point. And after tying it at that point, it's going to be firmly secured and you don't have to stress yourself with will it remove, will it not remove. So like I said, you have to use your needle or your thread rather, then you're going to now use it to wrap around it, ensuring that it is firmly attached on your quill. So once you've wrapped around about 4 to 5 times, then you're good to go with it. It's not going to remove. You tie it and you cut it out. Now, if you don't want your work to be exposed like this is, you can then go in using your ribbon or your velvet trimming to cover it. But if you know that, oh, you are okay with the way it is here, then you don't have to do all of that there. So I'm going to attach my feather to the other parts and then show us the next thing to do. Now it's time to attach the second feather on the same um quill. So I'm also going to measure a mark of 6 inches apart. So at the second 6 inches apart, I'm then going to fix it. But this time, this one is going to be sitting in. This one is sitting facing out. This other one will be sitting in this way. So I'm just going to be putting it here like this. So can you see this? So this is how it's going to be sitting on it. And then once I've attached it and it's now very dry, I'm then going to use my needle and thread on it. So right now I've already attached the second one. This is what I have. So I'm going to go in my needle and thread again and then use it to hold it firmly on it. After doing this, I'm going to show us how to attach both quills to one another, and we'll fix it on the Alice band. So now that I've fixed the second feather, the next thing I want to do is to now join both quills together. I just simply want to take the tip of each quill, fix it inside my glue like this. I'll do the same thing for the second one. Why? Because this is the point of attachment for both quills. So I'm going to fix it inside. I'm going to then let my glue to get dried a bit, and after that I'm going to join both together and use my needle and thread to firmly secure it together. So now look at, it's almost getting everything, but look at what I want to do here. I'm going to pick both quill feathers and put it together like so, ensuring that there's a difference of 1 inch in between both quill feather from the down. So I'm going to try to check my 1 inch difference. So I've gotten my 1 inch difference, and this way it is now. You can decide to first of all attach it down before you join both together at this point. So now I have my 1 inch. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go in with my thread to tie both together. Why am I doing this? So that by the time I get to that top part, it's not going to be so difficult for me to attach both quills together. So I'm going to do it, attach both together at the tip, this end. Remember that you have to put both together before you then attach it on your Alice band, and that's what we are trying to achieve. So I'm going to tie it together, and after tying it together, I'm going to do the same thing for the upper part. So now that I've joined this part together, it's time to come up here. And now can you see? So what I want to simply do is to pick both tips and place it on each other like this. Can you see? I'm just going to place it on each other like this and hold it down my glue tightly. So once I see that it's firmly held by my glue, I'm going to go on ahead with my sewing needle and thread, or my thread rather, again, and then I'm going to tie both parts together. Once I see that both parts are tied, I'm then going to release it and use my feather to cover that part. So can you see? It's not something so difficult. What we want to do is to fix the last two feathers at the point where we join. And how do you do that? You simply want to put your glue at the tip. And remember, the rule of working in millinery with glue is that you have to just wait for it to get a bit solid. Except if you are working with glue gum. That one is instant dryness. It will dry instantly, so you have to just use it immediately. Now before I continue with this, now for my Alice band, the choice is yours. You can decide to cover it, you can decide not to cover it, but for this one I'll be covering it. So after covering it, I'm then going to show us how to attach this to it. But before I go now, look at this. The direction of which your feather stays is very important, and look at, if you check the picture very well, the feather was facing inside. So what will you do? You just have to put it one like so, attach it firmly, ensure it is well glued, pick the second one, you do the same thing like so. So when you attach both together, you're going to use your hand to hold it down, allow it to dry. Then the next thing you're going to do is to use your needle and thread to hold it firmly down. So I'm going to use my needle and thread on it now, and then I'll show us the next thing to do. All right, so now I'm done wrapping my Alice, and now it's time to attach this to this place. So what do you simply want to do? You just pick this, and at the point where you used your needle and thread, you're going to place it directly on your Alice band this way, ensuring that the distance between you, I've already trimmed both to align, so ensure that the distance between here and here is the same thing on your Alice band. So just want to place it on it this way, and then you go in with your needle and thread and use it to tie it together. Now if you probably want a faster result, you can just use your hot glue. You can use your hot glue, plug it in and use your hot glue. It will give you a faster result. So now I'm just going to place my hot glue here. I'm going to place it on it and put it on it very well. So I'm going to put it on it, ensuring that at least it is well, you know, well put on the quill feather. And after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is now pick it up and attach it right here on it. So once I attach it on it, I'm going to hold it closely together and firm. Once it's dried, I'm going to hold it so firm, press it down. When it's now dried, I'm going to now go in with my needle and thread as usual. So I'm going to pass my needle and thread through my wrapped Alice band. And then I'm going to use it to tie it to it. The essence of this is so that our work or your quill does not detach from it that has cut. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to attach it firmly. So firmly, please. Just use it to tie it round. And do it so firmly such that it doesn't detach from your Alice band. So I'm going to tie this very well and show us the next thing to do. So now that I've already done that, the next thing I want to do is to use another little ribbon to cover this open part. Now this time I'll be working with UHU. This is because I want something that will last. I don't want the kind of glue that when I glue it, any little thing is going to remove. And that's why I used to advise that you work with UHU, especially for parts of your fascinators that you know that you don't want it to detach from one another. So I'm just going to attach that to the tip and then use it to cover my open end. So this way, I'm just going to place it from the back, hold it down, and then use it to wrap around. The essence of this is so that our fascinator will not remove. Now, you can decide to leave this place like this, it's your choice, and you can decide to close it finish. In fact, let me remove it and put a longer one so that we can understand better. So I'm just going to place my glue again at the tip, just a little, and then I'm going to use it to wrap fully. Now, the choice is yours, like I said. You can decide to wrap only the place you join together, and you can decide to wrap the whole of it. But for the sake of this class, let me wrap the whole of it so that we can understand. So I'm just going to place it this way and use it to wrap round. I'm just going to wrap around it until I get to my end, to the end of my quill and my Alice band. So I'm going to do this. Just use it to wrap round, wrap round, wrap round, and wrap round. So once I'm done wrapping around, I'm going to now close it in. And then that is that about this design. Okay, so I've done that and I have firmly closed it in, and this is what we have. So this has brought us to the end of this particular fascinator making tutorial. I trust you have learned something very, very interesting. And if you did, please don't hesitate to click the subscription button so as to get notified of our new videos that they drop. And if you are interested in acing your knowledge on quill feather artistry, this is your chance to register for quill feather fascinator contemporary course coming on 31st of July this month. See you in my next tutorial video. Bye.